True story. True story. Born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. We didn't have baseball fields in my community, so we had to play in the church parking lot. And the house across the street was owned by a man named Mr. Taylor, and I would hit the ball out of the church parking lot, would break Mr. Taylor's window. Mr. Taylor would come over to my house, knock on the door, say, Miss Porter, Bo's broke my window again. My mom would tell him, well, I'm sorry, these kids have no place to play. You can put me on a payment plan. I do the best I can to pay you back your money. So that story actually led to Mr. Taylor, who worked at a bank on the other side of town, and where they did have Little League. Mr. Taylor was on a lunch break. He walks down the street. He sees a flyer for Little League tryouts. He then brings the flyer back to my mom. He says, hey, I sit on my porch, I watch these kids play. It's pretty obvious to me that Bo's better than most of these kids. Have you ever thought about putting him into Little League? My mom looks at Mr. Taylor, she's a single parent. She had me at 16 years old, and she goes, one, I'm pretty sure there's a fee involved, and I don't have a car, so how is he gonna get there? Mr. Taylor, the kindness of his heart, kind of removed all of those obstacles for my mom. He said, how about if I pay the fee, $25, and I agree to take Bo twice a week when he has to go to practice and to his game, will you let him play? What a blessing. And I go, I try out, I get selected with the first pitch by the team that finished in last place the year before, the Dodgers. And we go on to win the next 3 Southport Little League championships. And the rest of the story is pretty much history. That was my first opportunity to play organized baseball. A huge thank you to Mr. Taylor. It was the kindness of his heart. And when people ask me why am I so enthusiastic about philanthropy and giving back and helping other people, it's because I know what it feels like to have nothing. And if it wasn't for the kind gesture of Mr. Taylor, I probably would not be standing before you today. So for that, I'm completely grateful. And I thank Mr. Taylor over and over. He was blessed to actually get a chance to see me play Major League Baseball in Yankee Stadium. So this story means a lot to me. And I've told it in many different sectors. There's actually more to the story, but for the sake of not taking up all of Paul's time, I'm gonna just skip over some of it. I'll end with this though. Mr. Taylor signed me up at Southport Little League, which is on Lyons Avenue and Leslie Street in Newark, New Jersey. And I was 9 years old. So you fast forward, I was 9 years old, played at Southport Little League. Southport Little League, went through some troubles. The league ended up folding. The park was named Green Acres, and it was actually not being used for a long period of time. And I get a call from the mayor's office back in, I think it was probably 2014 or 15, somewhere along up in there. And they wanted to rename Green Acres. So I think about Mr. Taylor doing what he did, and now you fast forward 2019, and Green Acres, where I started playing Little League Baseball, is now known as Marquez Bo Porter Sports Complex. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to the city of Newark. We have after-school programs, tutorial. We have Little League Baseball. We have small fry basketball. It's a great place for the kids of Newark to go and have different activities. So it's near and dear to my heart. And every time I talk about this story, it just kind of brings me back centered to my roots and be very appreciative for all the things that have been done for me. And it's why I'm so excited when I get a chance to do things for other people.